Hey guys, I get that the audio is not ideally loud enough, and I can't fix it right now, but I think the information's still good. Editor Jones says sorry, my bad boys. Alright, where do we start? Okay, I'm ManJones. I am top 1500 player, 400 points into Immortal, and I'm going to talk about how to play smokes effectively. This is something that every player needs to know. It's one of the fundamentals of the game. Is proper smoking, and sometimes, you know, even though if you don't play smokes, you still need to know how to do it, just in case you find yourself in a situation where you need to play smokes. Options. Chains. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna get relaxed because I'm tired. My season is ended. Attacking team start. Okay, so we're going to talk about all the reasons on how to play smokes, why you smoke, where to smoke, how smokes work, and just all the fundamentals of everything you need to know. And this applies to all of the characters. This doesn't apply to, say, Brimstone, Astra, Viper. Maybe not Viper as much. Viper's a little bit different, kind of unique, but all of the area denial and area controlling characters, is why they're called controllers, because they control specific places on the map. And we're going to go through everything you sort of need to know on how to play this.
My ultimate is ready.
We're just going to put everything on.
I have the spike.
Cool. Alright, so we're going to start off. We're going to start off on what a good smoke is and what a bad smoke is. So where to smoke? You want to smoke choke points. So for example, like your first smoke, if you're defending, a good one is
going out
here, obviously. Now this just separates this side from this side and sort of makes this area in here isolated, right? So the idea behind smoking is to isolate specific areas on the map and control territory that you'd like to take or defend. So if you're defending, oh, I'm lagging. If you're defending, smoke like this.
Shadows traveling.
Comes and pops. You can play off of it like this, you know, over here, whatever angle you want to choose. So that's the idea behind smoking. It fundamentally, at its core, is just to deny space or gain space in its own right, and you deny and gain space by putting down appropriate smokes. A couple things to note: if you are gonna smoke something, like deeper is better, like that. That is a better smoke if you're defending. The reason why is if people have to walk out of it, they're going to be spotted like this. They have to come out, and they have so much to worry about. So something like this is better than if you were to place the smoke like this. So let's say you
cover going out
like this, right? You know, still smokes the choke. Both. You know, it's hard to walk in. But when you go through it, now they can peek this angle, and they're safe from this because they can't spot it. So they have more angles and more agency and more options when you smoke like this. So this is a bad smoke. Bad smoke, you know, good smoke situationally, things like that. That's the difference in smoking. And when you smoke an angle like tree room, you just want it like this.
Going out.
This is a good smoke for tree room. Reason why cuts off everything. It's kind of bad because they can kind of peek out here. So maybe you want just a little bit deeper than that, but again, you do not want to smoke like this. A smoke like this when you're on is bad because people can peek out of it like this, and they're safe from a number of angles, and you don't want the enemy team using, you know, your smoke against you. You want to use your smoke for you, not against you. So that is a great example of a bad smoke. Another, you know, too deep creates problems for itself as well. So if you're like a little too deep, let's say you know you're going quick and you smoke here, you know, it looks pretty good when you come over here, but it's leaving this massive gap. And now obviously this is super exaggerated, but now this, you know, they get this angle here on you, and they can kind of peek out, and your smoke's not really that effective. So ensuring that you smoke just properly like this is the best thing that you can do, you know, making sure that there's no angles. This player has no angles, and if they want to come out and fight you, fully exposed to every angle that you're going to have, they'll get traded out instantly, or well, maybe not instantly. I've seen a lot of mistakes in ranked. When you go to smoke here, and a smoke like this is bad. These are bad smokes, right? So, you know, it's a little too far out. but you're also creating a gap here that's going to peek you and kind of fall off the angle. They can go get a headshot, and now you're down a player because there's bad smokes. Smokes are very vital. Smokes thrown improperly can really hurt your team, but proper smokes do a lot for the team. So like an ideal take, let's say you're on attack and you are taking towards a site, you know, you want to smoke
Cover
here,
going out.
up here, and you want to smoke sort of
Cover
like
going
this.
out.
Now, when you smoke like this is no gaps. They can peek out here from the smoke, but they need to get traded here. This is sort of your basic 2 smokes that you're going to want to throw when you go to take a site on site. It's fairly simple. It's not a tough concept. And so if you were, you know, attacking, then you can just walk up.
Shadows traveling.
Walk up. Make sure you line
Cover
it up
going
properly.
out.
So right about there. Wait till it pops. You know, bang, bang, bang. Take your space. Blah 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 blah. You can also throw the smoke like this. Wait till this one kind of dissipates a little bit.
Cover going out.
Fade in a second. So yeah, right like that. You can throw it like this, and really making it difficult for people to want to peek out. Either one really works. However, if at a higher rank people do see this smoke like this, then they're gonna go, okay, they're playing for this area, and they're gonna be ready for it right up here. So sort of standard smoke is like right up in here. I mean, I'm not the best controller in the world, but I at least understand kind of what I'm doing. And if people want to push out of the smoke, then you just fight them, of course. And so when you go to take, you want to isolate specific areas. Now, every controller that you have in this game is good for area of space denial and taking space and isolating angles. That's all. It's what these guys do. Viper can put up a wall from like here to here, and it really isolates a very specific portion of the map. And that's exactly what you're looking for. So when you play a character like Omen and you want to take, now this is obviously on the attacking side, defending side, I can show you a retake example as well. Basically, you go here, you wait till your team is ready to go, you put your
Cover going out.
and then you flash, you walk
Blinding.
over like that, and you flash generator. This is so commonly done. Now this forces, this is a very common angle for people to play. So if they do get flashed off, they're forced to hide here. They have no other spot of hiding, and a jet dashing on top generator up there, or maybe even a jet dashing dice to come get the kill. So that really isolates the angle, and it makes sure that the map, the part of the maps that you're looking at are like up here. You know, so things like that. Really, that's sort of the difference between a good smoke and a bad smoke. While we're at it, let's talk about one-way smokes. These are super like niche, and I see these all the time. And I think one-ways are kind of just garbage in this game. They work sometimes, but like a one-way like this, the idea is that if you come over here, right? Super simple. The attacker can't see you as well as you can see them. Since you're farther away from the smoke, if there is someone there, you'll see them first, and you'll be able to shoot them. Super niche, however, it comes at the cost of wasting one of 2 of your smokes. So instead of using it for map control, you're using it sort of to deny the space. Of course, when you throw a smoke like that, the enemy team will just wait you out, or they'll flash through it and walk through. So those are just sort of the common things. This, again, if you do smoke up top like this, it is super indicative of that you are playing off this common angle right here, and that you are playing right here. So if you ever see this smoke in ranked, then all you have to do is pre-fire. Good players, if they want to trick you, what they can do is they can kind of just, you know, they can ping the angle they want, and they go poof, and then sometimes they'll get a headshot off that. It's really hard for you to just react in time for a quick jiggle like that. So that's one thing to keep in mind with those smokes. I'm not a particular fan of them, but they do work. So it's up to you in that sense, whether or not you want to use it. Very situational, but not a standard thing that you should be doing at all times. Now, when we talk about controlling other portions of the map that are not just specifically A site or B site, you pretty much always want to take advantage of smoke. So if you want to play for a cat play, you can smoke mid like this, and now you don't have to worry about this angle over here, and you can kind of just walk up cat, fight the guy here, and you kind of isolate the market player from the cat player. And that's, again, the fundamental principle of smoking, is to isolate angles and get advantageous fights for your team. Of course, the other team is going to have a smoke of their own, so just be careful of that. When it comes to talking about the B site on this particular map, and this applies, these smokes apply to like most maps, right? The idea behind smoking is to throw them in choke points and just have control of it. I can't stress that enough about how important it is to have control. So when it comes to an angle like this, when you have something back over here,
Cover going out.
these are common smokes that will be thrown
Shadows traveling.
towards here, and then normally people would like blind this angle if they wanted to get the player off the angle. Now when you go to peek out, someone has to walk through the smoke, and walking through smokes is super sketchy. So let's say you're here, because now you have to pop through this smoke, and you have one angle to worry about. There could be a guy switch, there could be a guy here who can swing you, there could be a guy here. So there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe 7 or 8 angles that you have to worry about going through these smokes. And if they have market control, then that's a whole different story where they can just go, okay, this is the 8, 9 angles. So that's why you don't walk through smokes, and that's why smokes are to be respected and not feared. If you see a smoke, you might want to respect it. If you know that they're looking the other way, then maybe you can pop through it with a blind or something, but depending on the character you play, it's probably better just to wait till it goes away and peek the angles one at a time. That is just the basics to smoking. It's really not that difficult to get under your belt, but I see a lot of people do these things improperly, not throw smokes, not control map, not do things like that. So again, idea is to isolate specific angles depending on what you want to do. If you know a player plays, like let's say they play back here and they're always playing back spawn,
Shadows traveling.
This smoke here, which isolates market, now forces them to either get into market somehow or play pizza, and it just forces them to do different things. So different smokes accomplish different things. You get about 3 or 4 smokes in a round if you're playing Omen and Astra. I think you can get up to like 5 if you use all your stars on it. So there's a lot of smoking potential. I don't know how long the smokes specifically last for. You get used to it over time. I think it's like 14 to 16 seconds, 14 to 18 seconds, I think, depending on the character you're playing. Now let's talk about bad smokes, like really bad smokes that I see a lot. Because if you're not just smoking like choke points here, here's a rule of thumb for you. If the map is close together like this and you can see it, it's a good spot to smoke. Generally. Obviously, maybe bottom market, not a great spot to smoke, not a great spot to smoke top mid, like this doesn't accomplish anything for most players unless it's a very specific part in the round or you're chasing someone down. But generally, you don't want to be doing that. Here's an example of 2 really bad smokes that I see thrown sometimes. I see people throw smokes like this. Now, this does not isolate any of the common angles. Heaven is still peekable. In fact, now in favor of the defending team. Your pad is hella open, and it just kind of, it just kind of sucks. I see Brimstones do this. They smoke pad off, and then they do double smokes up here, like this. This makes no sense to double smoke it like this. If you ever do double smoke this, it allows players to like walk right across. So you can walk from this side to this side, and if there's a gap, they can peek. If there isn't a gap, then they can get into this angle, have a teammate here, and now they're ready to double swing when the smokes come out. So they can go 3, 2, 1. Let's swing. Let's look here. Let's look here. Whatever. It's just stuff like that. So keep in line with throwing like normal smokes. You don't want to be throwing anything too crazy, and you want to think about it as in like you're just trying to find angles that you want. Advantageous fights are what you're looking for when you play smokes. Yeah, so that's sort of the fundamentals. It's like the super beginner version of smoking and playing controller. I don't really have too much more to say about this particular topic. I'm not like the best smokes player on the planet, it's not like I'm coming out here and I'm just like, hey, I'm a smokes player. No, I'm like a chamber one trick at this point. I played so many of his games this season, but I just kind of play what I like to play. But I oftentimes have to fill, and I see people who are filling, even up into the immortal ranks, do these things just so badly. And I know it's hard. There's a lot of things you're thinking about while you're playing, but take your time, use your smokes appropriately. It's really going to save you in the long run. Stop using terrible smokes. Like, just flat out stop using terrible smokes. Like, it makes the game so much harder, especially at the lower ranks, to play with bad smokes or no smokes. And that being said, if someone's going to play smokes terribly, I would rather just not have smokes. Like, if they don't know what they're doing on smokes and they're just throwing them all willy-nilly, you're really not helping out your team. So don't play smokes if you're bad at smokes. Like, I mean, obviously this video is making you not bad at smokes, but like, if you don't have these kind of fundamentals, then smokes are just going to be detrimental to your team and not impactful in any significant manner at all. I hope this kind of helped if you're learning how to play smokes at all, or if you're just sort of a beginner to the game. This is how you play smokes. This is how high-level people play smokes. It's a very basic functionality of playing this. Oh wait, before we go, let's do a retake.
Shadows traveling.
I like this.
Cover going out.
And you want to kind of time your smokes when theirs goes down, so you don't want to have your smokes up at the same time if you're retaking. That's a topic for another day. This is the basics to smokes. I'm ManJones, best player on the planet. You can follow me at all my social shit, whatever it is, down below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned how to not be fucking terrible and throw your goddamn rank games playing smokes. Cheers.